Hello, everyone. This is the Jenkins Platform SIG meeting, and today we're on March 25. On the virtual table, for the time being, I have Birajit, hello, Giovanni, and Chris. We were supposed to have Hervé, Mark, Kevin. We'll welcome them if they chime in at one time or another. We'll see. So today on the agenda, we have, yes, still the end of support for Java 11. We'll talk a little bit about the container image updates for the Jenkins controller, for the Jenkins agents. We'll talk about the work in progress on images for the controller and the agents. We'll talk a little bit about Java 25, and if we still have time, we'll say a word about Risk 5. Is there anything you would like to add to the agenda? I take that for no. Let's get started there. So, it's been a while since Jenkins finished its support for Java 11. And for the LTF, they started with the 479X line. It was last year on October the 30th. Since then, we've been migrating some parts of Jenkins to JDK 17 and or 21 for some parts, but lots of plugins are still not updated. They are still using, for some of them, Java 11 or Java 8 or even Java 5, 6, 7 for the oldest ones. So we have some kind of an informal campaign, unofficial, that aims to update them to modern versions of Java and Jenkins. So we have this to track where we are at that point, more or less. So we have a tool called the Plugin Modernizer, which helps us with creating those automatic PRs, and then we try to get them merged. So as you can see, we're only shy of 50% of merged PRs, which is pretty good, I would say. Some of the plugins haven't been touched in 5, 8, or even 12 years for some of them. So of course, the maintainers went away, did something else, and just don't care anymore about the plugins. And it's fine. I mean, some plugins are meant to live a short life and then die because nobody using them. So that's okay. But anyway, there is another way of seeing our progress, which is there. And it shows, it's supposed to show the progression of this campaign. So we started last August and we're now in March, and you can see that we are getting lots of plugins. Lots is relative, but lots of plugins migrated from JDK 8 to 11 or even 17 for some of them. And also we have some plugins which had no Jenkins file, which means that they were not built on the Jenkins infrastructure. So we were not sure they were doing okay. And we are getting some of them. We reach a plateau, but we are getting some of them with the Jenkins file and working with JDK 17. So we are definitely progressing, but the road is long and bumpy. There is a program or an initiative which is related to that. That's the Community Plugin Maintainers Initiative. This was decided and discussed during the latest Jenkins Contributor Summit, which happened in Brussels last February. And we decided that some of the committee members would have a special role that would allow them to get these kind of automatic PRs merged more easily. Some of the peers part of this initiative would have a look at the automatic PRs if they are stuck for more than a week, and then help to get them merged so that we progress more quickly. Because for some of the plugins, we've been creating some automatic PRs last August, and nobody ever reviewed them, even if some of them were building successfully. So we definitely need a group of motivated individuals who will help with getting those kind of pull requests merged so that the global Jenkins ecosystems get better and up to date. At least that's the goal. This has not been accepted yet. That's still, being discussed. But I have high hopes that one of these days we'll have this group of people helping. Would any one of you have any question regarding that migration from older version of JDK to modern Java?
Yeah, I got a question about program you just mentioned. Do you know what's the criteria for like the ones they consider right now for joining the program? If anyone interested.
Oh, for the time being, I think it's Basil, who would be there. Also Stefan Speaker, I guess, because those were the two people in the work group during the Jenkins Contributor Summit. And as for the rest of the criteria, I definitely have to reread the document I just linked to see what are they. I think I could be part of that, but I have to check because I don't know if I will meet the regular term. I guess somebody who's been in the community for long enough would be a nice criterion to have. Somebody who is already a plugin maintainer or co-maintainer. And yeah, I don't know more. I don't know. Have a look at this document and let us know if there is something that sounds fishy to you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Now let's switch to container image updates for the Jenkins controller. So, the latest release candidate for the next LTS has been released last Thursday. Yes, I know we were late by one day. My bad. This one's a difficult release candidate because it was my first one. So I do apologize. I did what I could. I got some help from Chris, even from Mark, and it was still difficult nonetheless. So we'll do better next time. The real LTS should be released next week, April the 2nd, and I'll hope this will go better than the release candidate last week. We'll see. As for the weeklies, nothing groundbreaking these days. We just saw a few dependency updates for the 502 and the 503, so we changed the version of Update AI, which doesn't change anything for the end user. There's the tool that helps us keeping everything up to date. We also had a bump to UB9 and a bump of Debian Bookworm. So nothing should change. I didn't hear anything bad from the end users. Now, for the Jenkins agent, we did not have any new release for the SSH agent, and we had one new release for the Docker agent, with just dependency updates. No new feature, no bug fix, no nothing. So just a new version of the remoting update CLI. Once again, won't change anything for the end user, and a bump of the UB9 version. Now, for the controller, we have a work in progress, which it has been a few weeks or even months for this one. That's something that will take still some time to evaluate, to review, and to discuss. So you should not see this one merge in a short amount of time. For the Docker agent, we have this one, which has been running for a few weeks now. So the goal is to fix a bug with Windows because if you don't put the right parameter, you won't be able to have long names in path in Windows. That's something, I don't know if that's a legacy of DOS or something, but that's pretty painful. So we hope that this one, when it gets merged, will solve our problem. And as you can see, Hervé is still working on this one. This one is an attempt I created to get something in the Jenkins ecosystem more or less ready for Java 25. So we are using and recommending the Tamarin JDK for Jenkins. It's been a few years now, if I'm not mistaken. And lately, Terran has been supplying JDK 25 early access, so preview JDK for the JDK 25. So the goal there is to start as small as possible. We are not recompiling Jenkins with JDK 25. We are just packaging within Docker image the Jenkins as it is compiled with JDK 21, but alongside with JDK 25 for you to evaluate and test it. It's not ready yet for merging because there is a refactor happening in this repo these days, thanks to Eleanor. So yeah, I have to adapt it. I thought it was ready. It's not ready, but we'll see what we can do. And why are we switching to Java 25 as we haven't even finished migrating the whole plugin ecosystem to Java 17? Just because it's happening. It's right around the corner. JDK 25 should be available, I think, in October or end of September, and it will become the official LTS. So we have to do something to allow Jenkins contributors to tinkle with JDK 25, and if possible, early in the process. The earlier, the better. I mean, if ever somebody has time to evaluate JDK 25, that's what happened in the previous version of the LTS. We had JDK 20 and 90, even if they were not LTS, installed so that developers could try the new features upcoming in Java before it becomes official and then JDK 21. So that's something we do on a regular basis. But for the time being, we've been so busy with other tasks that we'll still, I wouldn't say late, but we're not early. That's for sure.
I think I can.
Um,
Oh, sorry, should I
oh, go ahead. My bad.
I think, yeah, no worries. I think I can help out with that task, testing Java 25. Yeah, but only on Mac though.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it should be available. At least the Tamarin. Let's have a look if you don't mind. I think it's available.
If it's not, I will do that as soon as it comes out for Mac.
Yeah. Oh, well, 283 assets. I hope there is something. Mac, yes, you you have it. That debug image, but you don't have to use a debug image. I think they will also give, yes, more regular. Don't. And I guess your is an Arch 64 or it's an older one, an Intel one.
It's a Arch.
Yeah, cool. So you're good to go. Yeah, that's cool. Lately, I've been trying to recompile Jenkins just to learn, and also because I was a release lead, so I had to do it. And frankly, on Windows, I would not recommend it. That's pretty hard. I did it on an Arch 64 Linux machine, and all went fine. And I also tried on RISC-V, and it did not work at all. So yeah, why not try to run Java 25 on a Mac Arch 64?
I think I can try it. I can use it on Linux too, but I need to use a VM for it. But it's still on running Arch though. So Linux.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that lots of Jenkins developers are already using a Mac. So if you could validate that it works on Mac and a recent Mac with the Arch 64 architecture, I think that would be a nice asset. Knowing that it works for you could help some other developers say, hey, maybe I should try it too. So definitely, if you have time for that, you're more than welcome.
I'll try starting this week. So I think I have some tasks I still do like for Jenkins IO as well. But I think this one I can do like at the same time. So yeah.
Pretty cool. Thank you. So yeah, we started with agents and we see where this goes. And I'll talk a little bit about RISC-V. That's my new hobby, I would say. I used to be a fan. I'm still a fan of ARM 64. I'm even an ARM advocate or something. How is it called? No, ambassador, whatever. I love the ARM architecture, but the RISC-V is interesting, I would say, mostly because its ISA is open. And it's a work that started at the University of Berkeley, if I'm not mistaken. So whatever. I've been trying to get Jenkins to run on RISC-V for a few years now. I think it was 2 years ago that I started with that on the Mango Pi MQ Pro, but that's a pretty lame machine. It's just one core and 1 GB of memory. So I was able to start the Jenkins agent on that. And once again, thanks to Tamarin, because Tamarin was supplying some JDK 19, 20, and maybe even 21 at that time running for RISC-V. So Yeah, that was cool. So I made it work on an agent. Later on, I got a MIL5 Pioneer, so that's a much bigger machine with 128 gigabytes of RAM and 64 cores. But the cores are pretty slow. But nevertheless, 64 cores is pretty cool. So I got Jenkins, the controller, to run on that, and of course also agents. So we were pretty good. But what I wanted to do to make RISC-V a first-class citizen for Jenkins was to get Docker working for that. Because when do we say that we support a platform in Jenkins? There is nothing official, but most of the time it's just when we have a working Docker image for the controller and all agents. So we have for, of course, x86 64, so standard PC. We have for Arch64 Linux. We have for S319X, so the old and big Intel architecture. We have for PPC64LE and some agents for ARM32. So that's pretty cool. We have already these 5 different platforms. But we don't have RISC-V yet, and that's because we don't have a platform to test the images on. I have Jenkins working on RISC-V, that's for sure, but I don't have Jenkins on top of Docker on this machine. So we could build those RISC-V images, but what's the point if I have nowhere to test them? So that's why I conducted I don't know how to call that, an initiative, program, something called Cloud 5. And they give access to existing RISC-V machine. They give you an, as you were in the cloud on bare metal. And then you can start trying your software, build your open source software, and so on. So I should be given access to one machine this week, and this machine has a recent OS and Docker. So I should be able to see if we can build a Docker image for Jenkins and run it on this machine. So as for the MangoPy MQ Pro, it's too small of a machine. And for the MIL5 Pioneer, it's running a very old version of Fedora 38. The package manager is somehow frozen, so you can't install newer packages. It's not up to date. There is no Docker, so I was kind of stuck. And now I should be able to at least run Jenkins Docker image. But we'll see. Let's stay confident. Hope is a good thing to have. We'll see. And frankly, it will still stay a hobby. I don't expect RISC-V to be a Jenkins first-class citizen by the end of the year. It will be amazing, but, time will tell. Anyhow, wow, I talk way too much today. Would you have any question or remark, comment on my monologue?
I have a follow-up about Java 25, some questions. So
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, is this version even worse than 23? Because I remember, like, 23 was not really backwards compatible most of the time.
Yeah, we don't know yet. I haven't read much about that. I know there are lots of new features. There are also things that change when it comes to G-Link, but as for the compatibility, we'll see. Um, I have, I don't know where. I think it's on my R64. I have a Jenkins controller running with JTK25. Um, but my usage is so limited that I wouldn't put a stamp on it, say, yes, validated, it works with JDK25. We need somebody with a much broader um, tests, much broader tests to prove that it's working in difficult or complicated cases. I think that's what we need.
Yeah, and also, do we have a codebook for, like, these kind of testing done so far, or should we start one?
I thought so. When I started my process of migrating to JDK25, I asked Basil. Basil, of course, you must have a cookbook somewhere because you handled the migration from 17 to 21.
Yeah.
Please give it to me and say, we don't have such a thing. Oh, down. Then I went to Mars and say, of course we don't, but please help yourself. Mile.
let's do it together. Let me create
Yeah,
each
please.
on Jenkins Live
Yeah.
and follow up. Okay.
If we can create a collaborative document about what it is to migrate from an LTS, a Java LTS version to the next one, that would be cool.
And what kind of tasks we can do, like what scope to cover? What kind of things we can do with Jenkins while testing it, like with Docker, also maybe with Minikube as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so let's write it down so we don't have any choice but implement it. Um, create a cookbook. Great idea. Thanks a lot.
Welcome, because I think it will serve kind of like a recipe for future work too, while migrating from one version to another.
Yeah, and we have to think of the plugins, the infra, ooh, uh, the control, the agents, packaging. There are lots of places where we have to change 17 or 21 to 25. So yeah, quite a lot of work. And of course, lots of these things we won't be able to do by ourselves. For example, the infra. We can pair with somebody of the infra team, but we won't be able to do it by ourselves. So we can just write a few lines, set up a meeting, try to understand what we are doing together, and just put it down in the cookbook later. But yeah, we won't be able to do everything by ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin, you're there. Hello.
Okay.
Hi. Sorry about
Sorry about what? You're welcome. um, we were about to wrap it up. Kevin, would you have? Yeah, I know. Stupid change. Daylight saving time and whatever. It's difficult to. Sometimes I even miss some meetings. Oh, damn! It was not the right time. Whatever. So, Kevin, would you have anything to add to the agenda? Oh, that's a trap. Yeah, you're just coming and you have already a question on your.
No. I'm okay. I was in the middle of some PR reviews and then realized what time it was. So yeah. No, I don't have anything to add. I'm sure. So thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, and thanks for coming nonetheless. So, folks, I think we'll wrap it up. The recording should be available from 24 to 48 hours, and you should see the meeting minutes in the discourse website, so community.jenkins.io. And we should see each other's 2 weeks from now, or will we really? I think I will be off. Let's check it out. Of April 1st. No, not April 1st, April 8th, no?
So it's like
It's every 2 weeks.
yeah, but you will be away though, I think. Most
Yeah,
probably.
I will be away, so I will ask Mark or Kevin or Chris if we should find somebody else to lead the meeting or if we just should cancel it. I'm fine with every option.
Maybe we should cancel it. Or Mark can hold it, but I'm not sure if it's too much for him now.
Yeah, I guess
Because
so.
I don't have the knowledge, but yeah.
I don't either, but I fake it until you make it.
Okay.
Okay, folks. So see when I see you, maybe 4 weeks from now. Maybe, yeah, I will see you 4 weeks from now. That's for sure. And for those of you, if you attend next meeting, I won't be there, but you will have a great time nonetheless. Anyhow, thanks a lot and see you when I see you. Bye bye.